a knowing grin. The magic works with your imagination, sort of feeding off your conscious thoughts and then opening the gateway for it to play out in your dreams. I can't promise anything specific beyond the intention of the candle, in this case, superhero. Cool. Satisfied, he tucked the candle under his arm and followed me back to the register. I rang him up and sent him on his way. No sooner had he left than another customer approached the counter. A middle-aged woman held up a sparkling black tapered candle. "Do you have any more of these night sky candles?" My lips quirked to one side as I peered past the woman and saw that the candle's designated basket was indeed empty. "The Celestial Starscape is one of my most popular candles," I said as I returned my gaze to the woman. "Generally, I keep all of my inventory on the floor, but I'll go see if I have any extras in the back." "Don't bother," the woman said, her expression sour. "At these prices, I shouldn't buy two anyway. I'll just break this one in half." I shook my head. "I'm afraid that won't work. It's intended to burn as is. If you'd like, I do offer a customer loyalty program. If you spend—" save it," the woman scoffed. I smiled through my incredulity as the woman tossed the candle back into a basket, the wrong one, and left the store empty-handed. Some people just liked to complain. It was one of the inevitable truths of working retail. I'd learned to accept it. Mostly. As the woman left, another customer walked in. She was a young mother with a baby on one hip and a small child following after her, talking excitedly about the airplane toy he held overhead as he marched along behind his mom. I knew what she wanted before she even had to ask, and with a smile, I pulled a box out from underneath the register. "I snagged these for you before I sold out again," I told her. "Oh, may the goddess bless you," she exclaimed as she rushed to the counter. She plopped her baby daughter next to the register and dug into her cross-body bag to dig out her wallet. I smiled and started ringing up the purchase. Lydia was one of my regulars. She came in most Thursday afternoons to stock up on relaxation candles. She told me once that her mother-in-law watched her two young kids on weekend afternoons, and she used the time to recharge her batteries. Hence the candles. Lydia and I made small talk for a couple of minutes, then she hurried away, waving back at me as she passed by the front window on the way to her next errand.
"At least the little brat didn't break anything this time,"
a cold voice said behind me. Frowning, I turned to the gray-furred leonine form lounging atop the display case behind the cash register. The cat's ears went back.
"Why haven't you kicked these people out of here so we can leave?"
"That's not how this works, Selene," I replied, keeping my voice low. "These are my customers. It's my job to help make sure they get everything they need."
"Please,"
she scoffed, adding a flick of her tail for emphasis.
"This modern notion of customer service is so tiresome. You go to a shop in Europe, they treat you like total crap, and the customers know better than to complain. It's just expected."
I rolled my eyes. Well, this isn't Europe. If I started acting like that, I could kiss my business goodbye.
"I doubt that. Just look at all these fools, buying your silly candles to create the same effect as a plastic projector from IKEA."
I shot the cat a scowl. Selene was being crotchety and exaggerating, as usual. The fact was, my Celestial Starscape candle did a lot more than simply project the image of a night sky across a wall. It created a magical illusion, synced to the night sky, one so detailed and dynamic, it truly made one feel like they were floating far above the earth, watching the celestial seas ebb and flow. But Selene liked to argue, and I refused to give in to her baiting. So, rather than try to explain how my magic candles worked for the umpteenth time, I ignored her and went to circle the shop, checking in with the handful of remaining customers. I rang up a few more sales before the clock reached the top of the hour. A soft chime rippled through the shop, signaling it was now closing time.